Alrighty then, moving right along, 5.4, comparing functions. This is going to be a little bit more challenging because we now have to compare functions, but they're not going to give it to us in an easy, straight format. They're going to give us different ways with initial values and rates to change. We'll have to find out the equations. We'll have to find the functions ourselves. So they're going to give it to us either like with input-outputs. They're going to give it to us in the form of a graph. Okay, they might give us it in forms of equations. I have no idea. It's going to be like Christmas. Let's find out what they'll do first. Example number 1. The function m equals 140h, where m is the miles traveled, h in hours, represents the distance traveled by the first Japanese high-speed train. The distance traveled by a high-speed train operating in China is shown in the table. Okay, so I'll do this in a different color. Yeah, blue. Okay, this guy is going to be blue. Okay, so the Japanese one is going to be in green. And then the Chinese one is going to be in blue. So Japanese is m equals 140h. And the Chinese one, well, I don't know what the Chinese one is. So let's find this out. So this is going up by 1. And this is going up by, you may use your calculators for here. 217 minus 434. It's going up to 217. 434 plus 217 is 651. So it's going up by 217. Okay. So that's the rate of change, 217 over 1. So for the Chinese train, it's going to be 217 miles per hour times h. Okay, so that is my rate. All right, hopefully they found that, and I didn't mind reading this. Okay, so compare the functions, the initial values, and rate to change. Now let's go. Initial value. What's my b going to be? Well, here my b. Whoops, wrong color. My b is 0 because there is no 0, as well as here there is no 0. So if I'm not moving, how can I go fast, right? So by the same token, I could subtract 217, I'd have 0, 0. So I have no b. So my b is at 0. So really, then, I'll go back and answer the question. My m is 140 here. My b is at 0, 0. My m is at 217 here. My b is also at 0, 0. So the Chinese train is going faster. Determine how much farther the Chinese train will travel than the Japanese train if each ride for 5 hours. Okay. So this wants you to put 5 in. So I have 140 times 5 for the Japanese train. For the Chinese train, I have 217 times 5. Go ahead, run the numbers. Press pause. So I ran the numbers. I got 140, 217, 140 times 5, 217 times 5. I got 710.85. Hopefully you guys got that as well. And it actually is 385 miles further when I subtract them. So the Chinese train goes that much further because it's going faster. Okay, turn the page. Go ahead and do the check right now. Okay, hopefully you got this in there. I found that the company A charges $1.50 per movie. That's my rate. At the startup fee of $5, my initial value is $5 plus $1.50 per movie. This is my formula for value A, for company A. And then here I found that if I go up by 2, I go up by 4, it's 4 divided by 2, which is 2. I wasn't exactly sure if that was right, so I went through and found my change. 12 minus 8, 4 minus 2, my change in y divided by my change in x, which is actually my y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 to find my slope. And it also is 2, so it worked out both ways. I found that I had my 2, but I had to find my b. Well, I could have done 2 things. I did 2 things here. I actually went backwards as well, and I found out that if I subtract 2 from both sides, from down 2, down 2, down 2, that's going to be 0. And here I go down 4, down 4, down 4, I'd be 0, 4. That's one way of finding your b, but I wanted to be sure. So I put it back into my original formula. I used 2 and 8 as my ordered pair. And then I solved and I got b to be 4. So it worked out both ways. So company B from the table is y equals 2x plus 4. So I have this equation here and this equation here, but they want to know how much more will company B cost than A if 15 movies are rented. Well, I put 15 back in to each one of the equations. I found one was $34. That was company B. This other one was $27.50. So $34 minus $27.50. You can go back and do the math. It's all about doing the math. It's going to be 50 cents. That's going to be at 6 and 7. $6.50. So really, ouch, company B costs more. We don't want to do company B. So you could also compare two functions when they give you a graph. Yay! So Angela and Ben's each have a monthly cell phone bill. Angela's monthly cell phone bill costs 15 cents per minute. Okay. Michael's MX plus B. It's 15 cents per minute, plus an initial fee of $49. This is Angela. And what's Bill? Oh, here's Bill. Okay. This is Ben. All right, this is Ben. All right, so this is his initial value. So that's his initial value. And what is the slope? Can I see what the slope is here? So I make a right. That's not really on the point. And it's got to be on the line. So I'm going to use this point here and this point here, because those points are definitely on the grid. So if I'm making my little right triangle, that's what it's going to be. So let's find, that's Angela up there. Let's go ahead and find that rate of change. So y sub 2, in my formula, y sub 2 is 80 minus 60 over x sub 2, which is 200 minus 0. So I'm going to have 20 over 200, yes? And then I divide that by just 10. Easy off the bat. Divide it by 2, I get 1/10. So 1/10 is also 0.10x plus, what's my b going to be? 0.60, because x is 0, y is whatever that is. That's going to be 60. So here's the second equation. Okay. We got the equation set up. Now, compare the function's initial values and rates of change, then determine the monthly cost for 200 minutes. So now I put 200 in. Okay, now we put 200 in. So what happens when it's 200? You can use your calculator if you want. 0.15 times 200 plus 49. So what happens when I put in 0.15 times 200 plus 49? Or what happens when I put in 0.10 times 200 plus 60? Okay, you guys put those answers in and see what you get. I don't know what just happened. I'm so sorry. Ooh, that's kind of cray. Okay. Hopefully it's still recording. Where was I at? Oh yeah, 0.10. Okay. I got, this is 79 and this is 80. Hopefully it's right. Let's find out. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, we don't know. They're not giving us the answers. All right, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I got 79 and 80. I got 79 for Angela's and 80 for Ben's. Hopefully that's right. So check your answers. Let's go ahead and you guys now set up the check. Set up the check. Let me press pause here. I need to press the pause. Okay, so you can't see crap here. Hang on, let me fix this for you. Okay. So I kind of ran some initial numbers here. And River Run charges initial fee of $10 plus $10 per hour. So I have that set up there. The cost for Clearwater canoes is what's on the graph. So I went through here. They're at 16 as their intercept. And if I did the first little triangle came across, it's 4 over 2. But I'm like, that seems, I want to make sure I get the right triangle, the bigger triangle, double check it. So I went to the biggest triangle, and I got 12 over 6. And that is also 2. So I got this for my Clearwater. Well, obviously, I like Clearwater as opposed to River Dirty Water, but right now, go through and run the numbers. So they want you to determine for Part A which company has the greater initial value. and which company has the greater rate of change. But I want you guys to run the numbers for B. Okay, so make sure you do B real quick. Press pause, and you may go on. Okay. Hopefully press pause. And we will do 289 and 90 in class. And the phrase that pays is, boy, oh boy, the Bears still really need to get a grip. The phrase that pays is, heavy sigh, Bears rot. Heavy sigh, Bears rot. Okay. Oh, yes, that's the phrase that pays. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.